Let me get you up to speed.
This is typical influencer
skincare line, which claims to prevent damage from blue light, and the internet collectively lost its mind.
Let me tell you how this stream's gonna go today. You little
We have some information that we have not seen before.
What is going on with this skincare brand, and why is it one of the biggest controversies the internet has seen?
I'll just start from the beginning.
Now what happens is that as creators begin to get more traction, they begin to manifest influence, the ability that helps people make the final decision, including buying things. And it wasn't long until we start to see what, in my opinion, is creators becoming more like influencers. And that's when fans start to throw accusations. Some creators are able to find the balance, but in the end, the main products creators make really well is telling engaging stories like no one else can. That's why I believe apparel products are one of the few popular product categories that work really well for everyone. The quality of apparel is a commodity at this point, so when apparel products drop, it really does feel like the creator made it because the sticking point is the design and the story of how it can express who you are. Valkyrae could have made anything else, like more apparel, but listen to this.
Some people like, oh, she could have just done a regular skincare thing. She could have just done more merch. You're right. This wasn't about money. It was more so like I saw their research and I was really excited that they wanted me to be involved in something that's felt revolutionary.
And that's the challenge right there. As people, as creators, we all want to make something bigger than ourselves. We want to leave an impact. Well, what makes creators work as a business is exactly a core component of what makes businesses work themselves. It's that creators are inherently unique. Functionally, apparel is so commoditized that it's still unique when creators launch apparel products. And that's why I think this partnership failed. In an effort to release a unique product, the team behind Reflect leapfrogged down the risky path when designing and developing this new product.
You don't need to protect your skin against blue light from screens. Even with a big-ass monitor, you would need days or months to get the same blue light as 15 minutes of sun. And if you do want to protect against blue light from the sun, which honestly isn't a big issue for most people, these products still probably won't do much.
In business, this uniqueness is commonly referred to as strategic differentiation. Strategic differentiation sounds complicated, but the concept is simple. It's a dimension of a product strategy that serves to describe how to distinguish a product, where the product strategy describes how you'll be successful in the market. See, it's a core part of a product strategy, and a creator's channel is no different than any other physical or digital product. So where is the balance, and how can creators accomplish impacts beyond their comfort zone? Let's dive deep into the story of this partnership because I want to share with you 3 key takeaways of the importance of strategic differentiation when looking to design, develop, and manage a brand new product and sometimes an entirely new category. So this is a brand new channel. I have a background in building products and operating businesses, and I'm looking to create more content around the rise of creators becoming founders. So my ask to you is, as you enjoy this content, is there a big or small or even aspiring creator that comes to mind while you enjoy this video on YouTube, TikTok, or anywhere else? I would love it if you can put me on their radar, and if there's an interesting story you want me to cover, feel free to leave it down in the comment section down below. So if you're thinking of doing something brand new and surprising the world with it, don't do it. When managing a product, the last thing you want to do is launch it as a surprise, especially in a new category. And I know it feels like it's the right thing to do. You want to surprise and delight, but it rarely works. Let me look at a time when it did work. I mean, look at Apex Legends. This is in the gaming space. It was an example of a game that took the world by surprise, and it ended up going really, really well. But why did it work here? Well, I think it was a lot of confidence, right? The rise of the popular gaming genre that we all know now today, Battle Royale, at the time wasn't a fulfilled need in the market, and it was a proven game design that gamers wanted more of. Now, if we look back into the world of startups, it's pretty common to have this sort of stealth approach as a go-to-market strategy, which is pretty much hiding in secret and not sharing what you're building publicly with the world. And that kind of leads me to the first takeaway. I can cover more about this in a future video, but in general, as a creator becoming a founder, just don't surprise the internet with a drop, especially if it's an entirely new category. It's just not worth the risk. In this case here, the Reflect team gives their reason why they were motivated to launch the product this way. Check it out.
The specific research can be stolen by other companies.
And, the reason why you don't want to do this in general, to not launch a surprise, is simply because
no business plan survived first contact with customers.
Now, I said it was kind of risky, but that does not mean you shouldn't take any risks. In this story, the product was in an entirely new category, a makeup product at the intersection of gaming. In fact, I actually think this is something the Reflect team did so well. They were bold. They were willing to take a risk on creating this entirely new category. There's actually a lot of hate on the internet, mainly labeling this product as a scam and all marketing. But what I want to share with you is, when being bold and creating a new category, think about the customer journey, and somewhere along that path hints towards an adjacent market. And that's why I can't really hate on what they did, because this thought process is a really good idea. I want to share with you the fundamentals of that thought process so that you prevent a crash and burn scenario like, what happened here. So for example, with Reflect, a makeup customer, they wake up in the morning and know that they have an event that they want to feel confident, and they look to makeup to create that. Think about this a bit differently and say, what if the customer isn't just a makeup customer, but what if they were a streamer or a gamer? Is there a makeup product that serves this segment specifically? Does this segment add more benefits than if it were just a makeup product? This is actually a really great framework for discovering new categories and disrupting markets. And a really good example in the creator economy space that I would love to talk about even more is Mr. Beast. He and his team executed great on their product, Mr. Beast Burger. They envisioned a potential Mr. Beast Burger customer that obviously watches Mr. Beast using their phone, and maybe they order food on their phone somewhat regularly, maybe even eat while watching Mr. Beast, and perhaps it's even a ritual, because if they feel bored watching the video, boredom usually comes with eating. What if they wanted to eat while watching Mr. Beast? What if they wanted to eat something from Mr. Beast while watching Mr. Beast? So what I'm trying to highlight here is there's very similar thinking, but a totally different outcome. What the heck happened? I really believe that this is actually an example of product companies just not exactly knowing how to collaborate with creators. Listen to this.
My original title was Creative Collaborator for Reflect. I was a creative collaborator. I actually asked if I could if there was something shorter so that it would look prettier in my bio, and they said you could put co-founder if you want.
So what this tells me is the company managing this new product, which in this case was Ideation Labs, felt like for some reason they actually had all the leverage in creating and managing this product, and Valkyrae's role was just gonna promote it to her audience. That leads me to takeaway number 2. Creators can also be very unique founders, not just these unique marketers. If we keep thinking about creators as marketers, I believe this just simply isn't going to be good for growth in the creator economy. Companies are actually known for dying without a founder or a refounder playing a core role.
We have a chance, if we stay focused and choose wisely, to really continue to impact people's lives in some small way for the better.
There's an old Wayne Gretzky quote that I love. I skate to where the puck is going to be, not where it has been. And we've always tried to do that at Apple, since the very, very beginning. And we always will.
When creators have more control over their vision, better products can be made. Think about it. The prime product for creators is their YouTube channel. What if that wasn't even created by them? When does that even work? It rarely works. It's also common for founders to be a majority stakeholder so that they have more leverage in the direction of the company, which clearly Valkyrae did not have here. And this is simply because as a founder, you likely have this really unique insight to either challenge the status quo and, win customers' hearts, or find this area where customers are underserved. And what happened here is that the Reflect team just didn't see Valkyrae as a founder. They just saw her as a marketer. And it was this perspective that led them to, honestly, their next fatal mistake, which was leapfrogging, skipping Valkyrae's future potential as a founder by just skipping customer development with her audience and straight to product, sales, and distribution. You never want to build in a new category like this because, as Elon puts it,
starting companies like staring into the abyss and eating glass.
That really brings to question, how can creators becoming founders create that impact that they really want, how they envision a future state of some part of the world or improving some part of someone's life? This is going to sound simple, easy, but in practice this is obviously going to be pretty difficult. And that leads me to takeaway number 3. You need to believe in the partnership. If you partner with a brand on a campaign or a product, you truly need to believe in it. And this story here, I would honestly truly challenge if the team truly believed in the product. I just don't think they did. If they did, I believe they would have shared more behind the design and the development of the product. And this is actually a common mistake in business of many founders just not getting feedback on what they want to build or not sharing what they're building before they launch it. And feedback from customers it's life or death. If you remember that quote.
No business plan survived first contact with customers.
So what are some tactics here that you can take away? What if Valkyrae could have created a special segment with her fans, researching what she could build, inviting a closed group of, a mix of old fans and new fans, maybe some highly engaged, some that are lurkers. And this is some way that you can start to define a true opportunity and really develop and craft that vision. And in this case, what happened with Reflect is that the team was truly and ultimately afraid to release this research in case of competition. And to me, that's actually what the red flag was. It wasn't the research itself, but the thought process behind using the studies to make their product unique. I mean, as the saying goes,
this competition is for losers.
As a creator, if you remember from the beginning, that isn't something that you even need to worry about. Creators are already unique. Alright, so I hope these 3 key takeaways has really made you reflect. But there's one more thing I want to leave you with. Brands need creators. Creators don't always need brands. Alright, so then what does that mean for creators becoming founders? Ultimately, brands are just looking to acquire customers. But in my opinion, they just aren't leveraging the creator economy beyond brand advertisements. And I hope you kind of see that from this case today. Creators actually have this unique insight that no one else has. It's what made them successful in the first place. What we all forget is that creators are not just a number. They're not just what's their niche. They're not just their followers. It's them. It's their traits. It's their relationships that they have with their fans and other creators that makes them unique and different and makes them stand out from the noise, even challenge the status quo, or even solve a problem that no one else dared to solve.